How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 23rd of June 2022. Very quick update today before this afternoon review. Just to make you aware, again, Powell is testifying at 3 o'clock this afternoon GMT time. Be mindful of this. Could cause some volatility. US indices not really doing much. I'm not gonna factor any of this in at the moment. I want to kind of wait till sort of closer to 2:30, between 2 o'clock and 2:30 GMT time before I can kind of gauge what US equities are doing. But for now, in terms of Bitcoin, let's just stretch the chart out and go down to the 4-hour chart. I've made a reference here to this, area of liquidity. Price may want to reach into this. But because there's some imbalances here, we could quite easily go to 23, 24, 26, or we could just drop out of bed and go straight for, sort of 15K thereabouts, right? We're at the mercy of the market. We have to be patient. We're just going to have to wait for something significant to happen for us to have the confidence to engage in the markets again. But right now, with this kind of grinding sideways, for me, there's just nothing we can do with this. I know these videos may seem a little bit boring, kind of the same rhetoric over and over again. We seem to be looking at the same two charts over and over again. But the reality is this is trading, this is investing. And the most important thing to understand, the more we stay on top of price, the less chance we have of getting caught out. So if a move happens on Bitcoin, we're ready for it, right? We know it's going to happen. We're aware of it. We're waiting for it. And when it does, we can react. As opposed to, let's say we just kind of loosely look at the markets every couple of days, and then we read a headline that Bitcoin's, back at 56,000. It's like, oh man, you've missed a move. We don't want to do this. We want to stay on top of price to make sure that any small nuance, any tiny level of confirmation, we see it, we can react, and we can add that to our analysis. So Bitcoin, it's a wait and see. Again, be mindful that Powell's going to be testifying this afternoon. That definitely could cause some volatility. Now, in terms of Binance, and this is interesting, you can see that Binance is roughly around about sort of 225. We're getting a little bit of movement on Binance, and it is starting to show a little bit of strength, relative to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of hovering around that sort of 20,000, 20,500, or 20,500. And Binance just kind of grinding, just, moving up a little bit. If we just drop down to the 4-hour chart, you can see this is a little bit more pronounced. And again, because we've already taken out this high here, there's no liquidity here. So if it wants to go, it's going to drive for roughly, let's say 250. It's another $25. It is more than doable for Binance to kind of grind up there. But again, what do we do with this information, right? So let's say Binance does grind to 250. Would you buy it? I couldn't. I simply couldn't do it. I'd want to see Binance at least above all of this, all of this mess, and holding maybe on a pullback, and sort of like a secondary or a third rally before I'd even consider engaging with, with Binance. Now, on the downside, obviously, as I've, mentioned a few times, if Binance kind of hits this level, then I'm going to buy it. There's no question about it. We haven't seen 148 to 150 for a very, very long time on Binance, and I'm more than happy to pick it up there because it's just super, super cheap. I absolutely believe that Binance is going to be around for a very long time, and I wouldn't have any issues engaging down here, right? For me, that makes perfect sense, right? But to be engaging in this area where we're not sure, we just don't know. If you take the point here at 150 and the point here at roughly around about sort of 310, there's this range that price can move, rally up into, pull down, maybe rally a bit again, pull down, rally a bit again, and just drag this out for months and months before we finally, if ever, hit 150 to then put in a pretty significant bottom and then off we go. Or Powell could testify today and, Binance could be down at $80. I mean, we just don't know. But the one thing that we absolutely do know is that if we're patient, we wait and we look for confirmation, small nuances and signs of confirmation on the lower time frames, it's so much easier to see what's going to happen on the higher time frames, right? And I keep saying, I keep saying, and I've said this many times, we'll see it before it happens. Yeah. And obviously there are moments in time where you just see explosive moves and there's nothing you can do about that. But we are mindful and aware that there are significant situations, i.e. Powell testifying or certain news that could potentially affect, the cryptocurrency market very aggressively and very quickly. For example, Powell testifying, the Celsius problem, and a few other things that are going on in, the cryptocurrency industry. Any one of these elements all combined could potentially cause, an aggressive move, up or down. So we have to be mindful of this. We have to be aware of this. And we just have to be patient. So with all of that said, I'm going to leave it at that. I may jump on for a live session. Do not quote me on this, but I do, closer to sort of 3 o'clock. If I have time, I'll kind of jump on. Quite interesting to kind of sit for 30 minutes to 40 minutes just to kind of see if his testimony, causes any volatility in the in the markets. If it doesn't, then that's fine. If I, obviously can't get to it, I won't, but I will do an, evening review as normal. So I hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to speaking to you later. All the best, guys. Take care. Ciao for now.